Okay, still day one of MRO Europe, and we've moved on now to the Diehl stand. I'm joined by Emmanuel Gutierrez-Infante, who is the Senior Account Manager.
Correct.
Yes,
that is correct.
Got that right. Okay. Emmanuel, thanks for inviting us onto the stand today to talk to you about what you're talking about this week at the show. Just introduce yourself. What do you do at the company?
Absolutely. So my name is Emmanuel, as you said.
Yep.
I am a Senior Account Manager for the Diehl Aviation, the Diehl Aerospace group. Responsible for a criteria of customers in my region.
Yep.
So Spain, Portugal, the Nordic, the Baltic countries. This is my scope. And I'm basically a face of Diehl in front of our customers.
Okay.
I get to transmit customer needs, customer demands, wishes, complaints. I put on the bulletproof vest, and I take that all in to be able to transmit those towards the home sites. We have several home sites, and so it's sometimes a bit challenging to be able to communicate all of these demands to our home sites.
Yeah, we'll go into more detail about what your customers are actually asking you.
Correct.
What they want from you, because that's what you're here today this week for. But the business itself, so you're based Toulouse, you were saying,
right.
But the business has got sites all over all Europe, but Germany in particular.
Correct. Yeah. So it is a family-owned German company, and we have most of our production facilities today are based out of Germany,
right.
Different locations. But our service centers, where customer services are, we're globally, and so we have different locations across the world.
Yeah.
To be more customer centric.
To be close to the customer physically as well as
exactly. Yeah. And so we have dedicated individuals who also are responsible for certain accounts, like myself.
Yeah.
And the whole purpose is to be customer centric.
Yeah.
At the end of the day.
Talk to us a bit more about Diehl then. What do you specialize in? What are you known for then?
So Diehl is, as I said, Diehl is a German family-owned company, and it's part of a group, the Diehl Group. We have Diehl Metal, Diehl Metering, Diehl Controls. Big one that's growing due to the global situation is the Diehl Defense.
Okay.
And of course the Diehl Aviation Group. But Diehl Aviation Group on its own is combined of several companies as well.
Right.
And that on its own already brings a bit of a challenge to the end customer to understand where they need to go.
Yep.
And Diehl is focusing today really to be a face, one person or one team to the airline, and not having all these big challenges like many of the big suppliers out there, that they have tons of people out there. And we try to really get everything into one dedicated person, one dedicated team in front of the customer.
So let's go into that. What the customers are looking for. You said they've got challenges, requirements, needs, the odd complaints. Hopefully not many complaints, or else you're not doing your job properly.
I would say no.
But what are they coming to you for? What is the big thing that the airlines that you'll speak to this week? What are they coming to Diehl and saying, we've got this issue? What can you help us?
I would say, as a first, a customer that complains is my best friend. It's a good customer. If the customer is actively challenging you, actively telling you what needs improvement, you're able to make those improvements. Yeah. So it's a paramount to have that. The customers that are quiet, that they say is everything okay, but then something happens and you don't have a relationship, then it escalates the wrong way.
They're the ones you worry about more.
Exactly,
then. Okay.
Exactly. So the ones that are on top, escalating, are the really good ones. Let's say in my case. And here at the MRO, we have already several meetings set up to discuss a little bit about those things that are not working well. Supply chain issue, still a big thing for everyone. Everyone here is suffering from that. But those are a little bit of the trends that everybody's looking to see how to make things better. For all of us.
Look, I mean, we are in a situation where, to all intents and purposes, consumer demand is back to where it was before, if not beyond. So, and it's going up. So that's only going to put more pressure. And the industry is actually struggling to meet that demand, which is it's a good problem to have. You would rather that than the other way, where there's not enough demand. But it does create huge challenges, and most consumers have no idea. If you peel back the skin of the industry, they would be quite amazed, not only about the complexity, but the huge difficulties that you face. So how was the industry? How was Diehl playing its part in helping the industry address those issues?
Well, we are tackling in many different aspects. Maybe also challenging customers what their demand is.
Yeah.
Are they willing to store additional parts? Are they willing to have consolidated stocks in their regions where they support? Because we do have some challenges. We do have some parts, and having a AOG request on the very last minute without any preparation of what is actually need could really bring everybody into trouble.
Yeah.
So we really need to be in preparation with customers when are they doing their maintenance checks. What is normally their criteria for their cabin, because we are a major cabin integrator, cabin supplier. So we really need to be able to get them on board with us, with their criteria, and then we're able to plan ahead, maybe in preparation to this maintenance checks. We have standard parts, raw materials that would normally take longer lead time to get.
It sounds like being more prepared. I mean, it's never a bad thing to be prepared for stuff.
Exactly.
But obviously you don't know what's going to happen.
Correct.
But it's a resilience issue. Yeah? You've got to be, as an industry, a bit more resilience. Sounds like more latency in the industry, so that you which is a difficult thing. A bit of redundancy in there, so that you're not constantly living on the knife edge. You've got something to fall back on. Is that what you're saying?
Correct. And also a lot of airlines took that into account because everybody's suffering from it.
Yeah.
And so they need to also prepare for their operations. And so that is something that's a big trend at the moment. Advanced stocks, preparations, safety stocks that they call, having really on board the supplier for special events like the Paris.
Yeah.
So Air France was very active, making sure we have everything on board, that there will be no delays with parts and availability because this is a major event.
Yeah.
So these sort of things sort of triggered also ourselves for certain color codes, which are only for Air France, for example.
Okay.
So that's a major criteria for us.
This is it's an interesting area for us personally at MRO management, because we have the Predictive Aircraft Maintenance Conference coming up next month in Dublin. Obviously, really interesting things happening in that space because of the access to data, because of AI and analytics, things you can do now which you simply couldn't have done a few years back. Is this now? Does that, from what you're saying, it sounds like the time has come for PAM. Even if it does cause its own disruption in the industry, it's kind of now not a nice to have, it's an essential.
Predictive maintenance is something that it's also a big topic today. And for us at Diehl, we have a set of components that can be easily predicted because we have avionic equipment, electronic equipment that can be really controlled. Yeah. But at the same time, we have cabin equipment that is sustained, that have impact on passenger usage. You know, like the sidewalls, the ceilings, the overhead storage compartments. This is something that is hard to predict when it will be damaged, when it can fail, how many operations can it have before it actually fails. The predictive maintenance on cabin interior equipment is quite difficult compared to electronic components.
Because I guess it's being used erratically by customers, and they can break things, or
they store things additionally, forcing items, the shades,
what is a trend in MRO is certainly the cabin MRO. I talking to people over the last year or so, and that's obviously particularly true in the higher end premium cabins, where you've got very, they pay a lot of money, these customers. They expect everything to work 100% of the time.
Correct.
And for some of these carriers, it's a massive customer service issue if it doesn't. So there's a lot of focus on this, I think.
Correct.
Now.
Correct. And we have dedicated groups to support such scenarios, such upgrades. It's a challenge. But certainly it's what customer needs, it's what customer requires, and so Diehl is in fact up there in the front line, trying to support them full 100% as they require. This is a lot of times a bit of what's happening here at the MROs. They require certain things, they propose certain ideas, and that's something that we really look forward to making happen. To hearing that feedback and to making that happen is something that we really strive for.
It is a complex. We said it's a complex, big, difficult industry operationally. And from how you're explaining the challenges, you can't see one individual entity solving anything by itself. There has to be a kind of ecosystem approach. Everyone's got to go and move in the same direction. Do you see that happening, especially when it comes to supply chain? That's not going to solve itself overnight. There may be mid to long term solutions coming on, but to be fair, we're here for the long term with these issues, and everyone's got to work together, haven't they?
Exactly. And Diehl, just as a quick example, had this. We have this philosophy of customer centricity. So we also took our different locations for repairs that everybody was doing and centralized that, so that customers are able to have a dedicated area to go. But we also manage our stocks, controlling, seeing the market, talking to the customer what they actually need, what is the trend of repairs that are being discussed, and we are able to tackle it better rather than one location to a different location. So that's something that Diehl is really focusing, and it has been moved late last year in Toulouse. Now this is the service center for the complete group. Aside from the service centers which are in the Americas and in Singapore for the APAC region, Toulouse is really the centralized area for the cabin and Diehl Aerospace products.
Okay. Oh, look, it's a really good update on what you're doing and how things are going at Diehl. I'm sure we can speak a lot longer, but we only have a short amount of time at these shows. Just a quick word before we wrap up on this week, the next 2 days. You're going to be busy talking to lots of customers or prospective customers. What kind of conversations do you expect to have? What do you expect to hear from them? And what's your message back?
Well, I would say we're having diverse discussions from some innovations, products that we have here, to some complaints that we're trying to solve. So we have upper management involvement as well. And I would say the message that I would say is your feedback is crucial. We need to hear this feedback. We need to understand what's happening and what you wish to have. And if we are able to do it, we will manage it, because the great support from the different respective leaders are there to listen to that and to bring that up front to solve the issues that the customer may have. So come,
big message.
Bring your topics.
If you've got a complaint, don't keep it to yourself. Come and tell us. We'll tell you about it.
Tell us enough time. Tell us what's happening, and we will be open for solutions and to find things to make it work.
Fine, lovely. No, Emmanuel, thanks for that. I hope you have a good couple of days at the show.
Yes, for sure.
And thanks for joining us on AVNcast. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Cheers.